An effort to keep our roads safe.
Martin Stew's been at one depot at Sandy in Bedfordshire and he sent us this report.
Well, the snow's started to fall heavily here in Sandy in Bedfordshire, but ironically it's not been the snow that's been the concern around the region, especially in places like Lincolnshire where they're expecting temperatures of anything down to -9 tonight, and the worry there is flash freezing, and that means all the rain we've been having could freeze within just half an hour, making roads like an ice rink. Well, here in Sandy, as you can see behind me, the gritters are just filling up, ready for a busy night. Many of them went out at 2 o'clock to lay that early bit of grit down, but some of the rain has washed it away. I'm joined now by Paul Sinfield. Paul, just how big an operation is going on here tonight?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, across the area here, this is one of our 5 depots that are going out. We have 21 gritters which are going out in total. We also have a further 8 gritters which are basically spare vehicles. Should we have any problems with those primary vehicles?
And we've got hundreds of tons of grit and salt going out, haven't we?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, across our part of the region here, we have approximately about 133 tonnes per run, which goes out on a full treatment run. Yes.
Paul, thanks very much, and good luck tonight. I think it could be a busy night. The gritters here are working from 7 tonight until 7 in the morning. Just to put this in perspective, in Cambridgeshire they've got 2,500 miles of roads to grit. Each run takes 2.5 hours and 200 tonnes of grit. It's going to be a long night.
So just what should we expect from the weather over the next few hours? Well, Rachel's outside to tell us. More snow tonight, Rach?
Yes, well, we have had several centimetres of snowfall this afternoon. You've been tweeting us, letting us know it's been settling across the region, but this snow and sleet is clearing into this evening. The big problem is widespread ice. We've got this dramatic drop in temperatures and, of course, all this moisture on the roads, and that's making for some treacherous driving conditions. Now, it stays bitterly cold into tomorrow. We are seeing some wintry showers, but the next big snowfall is going to be on Saturday. We're expecting between 5 and 10 centimetres of snowfall across the region, but, of course, I'll have more details for you later in the programme.
Well, indeed. Rachel, thank you very much for that. And for the very latest update on the weather, plus reports from around the region on how it's looking where you live.
Yeah, stay in touch via our website and we'll bring you as much information as we can during the cold snap. Keep your weather pictures coming in as well. Our email, jonathanandbecky@itv.com. A judge in the case of a Luton firefighter charged with death by dangerous driving has ordered a retrial after the jury failed to reach a verdict. Robert Hewlatt was at the end of his shift when he was called to a house fire in Caddington. His fire engine hit a car carrying 5 members of the same family. The father, Latif Kadri Sheikh, died a month after the crash.
A petition has been launched in North Norfolk calling for the local Liberal Democrat MP to resign. A group calling themselves North Norfolk Against the Cuts say they've collected about 100 signatures. They say Norman Lamb has betrayed the constituency by voting in favour of increasing tuition fees when he'd pledged not to. Mr Lamb has told the group he's happy to talk at one of their meetings so he can explain his position.
I support the case for giving people the right to recall their MP where they're guilty of serious misconduct. But I'm elected to exercise my judgment, and I will do that to the best of my ability, putting body and soul into this job, working on behalf of my constituents. But we have to get public finances under control, and it's in the interests of the most vulnerable in our society that we do so.
More news and, of course, the full weather forecast on the way.
And we've even got some seasonal musical offerings for you as well.
The government has confirmed that our region's 2 Coastguard centres will close in the latest round of cuts.
The Great Yarmouth and Thames headquarters in Essex are among 11 centres around the coast set to shut in a move to save over £7 million a year. Kate Proud has more.
For nearly 200 years, the Coastguards have been coordinating inshore and offshore rescues around the British Isles. Today, in one of the biggest shake-ups in its history, 11 of the current control centres will be shut down with a loss of 250 jobs. Under the proposals, the control centres at Great Yarmouth in Norfolk and Walton-on-the-Naze in Essex will close. 3 centres will operate 24 hours a day from Aberdeen, Portsmouth and Southampton and Dover. 5 other sub-centres will be open during daylight hours only. They will be in Falmouth, Humber and Swansea, and then 2 others will cover Liverpool and Northern Ireland and the north of Scotland. A day like today could be treacherous on our coastline, and lifeboat crews that work our shores say they're concerned a centralised coastguard just won't have the same level of local knowledge.
We know the area, we know where the sandbanks are, we know the dangers, and we work well with the coastguards who also know the same. But if you get a team that are not used to, it's not just us, but all around the country, it's going to be difficult. It must be difficult for them.
Despite admitting our seas are becoming busier every year, Shipping Minister Mike Penning insists no lives will be put at risk.
There is going to be no vulnerability. We're actually going to enhance the service, going to give more skills to the Coast Guard staff that are taking those calls. We're going to increase their pay, give them the skills they need. Frankly, where the person picks up the phone when you call 999 is irrelevant. It's who turns out to your call. The guys and girls who turn out as volunteers will be there, and we're going to support those no matter what.
The government has postponed its plan to sell off the search and rescue helicopters, and it's allowing a 14-week consultation period before today's plans are likely to be set in stone. Kate Prout, Anglia News, Norfolk.
A woman in Great Yarmouth has been arrested by police investigating a murder more than 30 years ago. 22-year-old Sally McGrath was found buried in a shallow grave in Caister Hanglands in Cambridgeshire in 1980. A 55-year-old woman's been arrested on suspicion of assisting an offender and perverting the course of justice.
Extra rail lines between London and East Anglia could be needed to cope with a predicted increase in passengers. A report by Network Rail says the numbers travelling into London will grow by a third in the next 20 years and says it's especially pressing on the London to Ipswich route. It says traditional methods of coping with overcrowding, like lengthening trains, may not be enough to cope with demand.
Police say they're not treating the death of a woman found outside of a block of flats in Norwich as suspicious. Her body was discovered in Hobart Square just after 8 o'clock this morning. The woman has not yet been named.
Sport. Ipswich manager Roy Keane says he has no plans to resign despite the club's dismal run of form.
But after 6 defeats in a row, Keane did take some time out this week. He even had a shave. Jim Rice has more on that.
Back in town and determined to carry on for as long as his services are required. Roy Keane took a break away from football this week. Time to contemplate his and Ipswich's future.
I wasn't lying on a beach somewhere. I was obviously thinking things through. Met one or two people whose opinions I trust. People who've nothing to do with football. Good friends. And it was good. It was good. Recharged the batteries.
Of course, Keane's absence hasn't stopped the media circus around town's manager. Reports of a bust-up with one of his players and even speculation about his facial hair, treated with varying levels of brevity this morning.
That's lazy journalism again, the usual stuff when we lose a match or people writing headlines about myself. I get bored answering these questions. It's disrespectful. Again, I think it's unfair on Damien, unfair on myself. It's just lazy. I've had it throughout my career.
Do you feel a bit refreshed yourself?
Yeah, I do. I had a shave and, yeah. Smells on a shave does, yeah. A shave fixes everything.
Not that Keane's treating Ipswich's form as a laughing matter.
Never been on ride that in my life. Since I was 8 years of age, gone back to Rockmont, Cove, Forest, United, Celtic, Sunderland, Ireland. No. You feel like you're letting people down, supporters, and they want better and they demand better. We've got to try and do that this weekend.
The weekend's opponents are Leicester, managed by someone else who knows a thing or two about media attention. Jim Rice, Anglia News.